guys, and welcome back to another month in review from me, Dan the Games Man. This month we are looking back at May 2021 and the games I have been playing. So over the past few months I haven't got the numbers down, there has been some low rookie numbers, but this month they have a sweepstake on Xbox Games Pass where they will match every achievement point you get with Microsoft points. So I've been hammering away at the games this month and there is some severe achievement hunting been going on. So whenever I'm looking at getting achievements, Telltale games are always one of the go-to games. With most of them you can just play them through and get that sweet 1,000 achievement points nice and simple. But this is one I've been waiting ages to play. As you know, I am a massive Marvel fan and I am also a massive fan of Guardians of the Galaxy. So when Telltale and Marvel come together, you know it's going to be something special. So, you know, it's your classic Telltale game. You make decisions that affect the storyline, but this being Guardians of the Galaxy as well, the music is absolutely fantastic. This is a really good one. It's getting slightly harder to buy on a physical disc, so I recommend if you see it, pick it up while you can. I think I got it for about £10, but that price is slowly increasing, especially with Telltale losing their license to a lot of the games. These games are going to get harder to get over the next few years.
We'll expunge your past crimes from your record.
There's a couple of things to consider with this Guardians of the Galaxy Telltale game. So, the game is very much not canon, so it is not connected to the films in any way. I don't want to spoil any of the story, but this becomes very apparent very early in the game. But it is definitely one of the better Telltale games. Maybe not graphically, the graphics are a little bit muddly. They're not really that great. You know, I'm playing on the Xbox One, it doesn't look that amazing, but the graphics don't really account for much in this game because it's all about the storyline and the humour, and especially the music. They have really taken a page out of the books of the movies and basically just added some really good music into this. But gameplay wise, it is standard Telltale fodder. You just have to press the buttons as quick as possible, get your quick time events, and carry on a story. You can't really go wrong. There is some really big decisions which do affect the game later on, but you know, this is a Telltale game. There's always going to be consequences to whatever you do, but the best thing about this is definitely the humour and the characters. It really makes it stand out among some of the kind of more boring Telltale games. If you enjoy Telltale games, you're going to really enjoy this. If you enjoy Guardians of the Galaxy, you're also going to have a great time. The humour is totally on point. I'm just going to leave you with this little bit just to show you somewhat to expect.
What do you expect him to do?
Oh, come on. Who else could master these sick moves?
Stop doing that with your pelvis.
What, this?
That is most disturbing.
Okay, great. Everybody calm now? Huh? We cool?
No!
I am Groot.
He's right.
So this message at the start of this game really does kind of explain the entire game to you. So this is Destroy All Humans, which is on Xbox Games Pass at the moment. So this is very much just a graphical overhaul of the original game. There is some problems with this, but I will come back into that later. So the best thing about this game is kind of its art style, its setting in the kind of 60s suburban America. It has all the cliches you'd expect of those kind of sci-fi films of that era. It's a really fun one. It was originally released back on the original Xbox and the PlayStation 2. So this is a remaster. They have made the graphics pretty good for today's consoles. But one of the problems is a lot of things that made that game not fantastic back in the day are still present in this remake. If you never played the game when it was originally released, basically you are put into the space boots of Crypto, an alien who is sent to Earth to extract DNA to save his dying alien population. So, he is not the most likeable character. He is kind of annoying, and you can tell it's kind of from the early 2000s when everyone had a lot of chewed. But don't let that put you off the game. It is still quite a lot of fun. It's pretty silly, it's pretty stupid, but it does have kind of, when it's funny, it is funny, but sometimes the jokes are seriously lame. But gameplay-wise, it is pretty fun running around, literally destroying all humans.
Now, Cryptosporidium.
Where this game does shine is in its basic gameplay when you are literally sent to destroy all humans, or in this part of the game to destroy cows. So it's really cool, the physics are really good, how you can kind of use telekinesis to pick enemies up and throw them around the map. So yeah, basically the gameplay is pretty cool. Crypto also has a massive arsenal of alien weapons you can use to destroy all humans. So, kind of the basic guns you start off with are the ray gun. So imagine kind of a Mars attack style electricity gun, and also you can suck the brains out of humans' heads. There's some really good gore and violence in this one. My favourite part of this game is definitely when you are set loose with the flying saucer. You can really do some damage using this thing, and the physics for destructibility are pretty good for a game that was quite an old game. But the problem is these are few and far between, these sections. There is so many early 2000s cliches. There is instant fail stealth missions. There is missions where you have to tail people. There is some really boring missions in this game. For a game where you're going to destroy all humans, there is a surprising amount of sneaking around, and that is definitely where this game falls on its galactic butt. This game is available on Games Pass at the moment, so if you like what you see, jump in and give it a go. Achievement wise, it is actually pretty simple to rack up some points pretty quick, but some of the challenges are really finicky and really quite annoying. I think if you can get past some of the more cliche, boring missions and some of the kind of controls which do not feel as tight as games these days, you'll probably have quite a good time. Just don't take it too serious, and yeah, I think this one probably does overstay its welcome. I've actually not finished the game yet, and I've not really been drawn back into it as much as I expected, but give it a go, you might like it.
Look out! There are more.
Untitled really have been nailing those achievements. Some Games Pass a minute they have a challenge where for obtaining gamer score beginning May 11th until May 31st you receive an equivalent number of reward points up to 10,000. So that's a pretty good deal. You know, you can use these reward points on stuff on the Xbox store or use them in certain physical retailers. So one of the games I jumped on, I've been meaning to get the achievements done for, is Doom 64. So this is on Games Pass. The achievements are fairly simple, and also you get to play a lot of Doom 64, so it's kind of a win-win situation. As I said, using some cheats and some level skipping, it is fairly simple to get the 1000 gamer score for this game. But this level was a pretty tough one. This is the final moments of the level, no escape, and this was a tense one. You had to fight not one but two massive Hell Knights at the end. It was super tough, definitely the hardest achievement to get in the game, but got it done, nailed that 1000 gamer score. Up on the achievement hunting list, I wanted to go for something a little bit lighter and a little bit more family friendly, just a bit more chilled out than Doom 64. So this is Donut Country. This is essentially a game where you control a hole in the ground and you have to swallow up everything you see. It's a bit like Beautiful Katamari, that kind of style of game. It's got a really cool art style. It's really simple. The achievements list for this is also super simple. Essentially you just need to play through the game. There's a couple of achievements that are slightly harder to get, but look them up in a guide. Easy 1000 gamer score in 2 or 3 hours. That being said, I did actually really enjoy this game. It has some really cool use of physics, like you can see here. When you kind of eventually drop the oven into the hole, you can then use the oven to blow the air balloon up in the air. There's a few levels that are kind of cool like this. It definitely brings in some different mechanics and stops it going stale, but it's not incredibly deep, unlike the holes in the game, but you can get it done in 2 to 3 hours. It's quite funny, it has a nice zany sense of humour. Definitely, if you've got Games Pass, I recommend checking it out. Final game on Games Pass I absolutely nailed the achievements for was The Gardens Between. So this is a puzzle game that uses time physics. Basically you can fast forward and rewind time. So both the little boy and the little girl have their own abilities. So the boy can hit these bells around the level which change things up, and the girl can carry a lantern. So essentially it's pretty simple. All you want to do in each level is get the lantern to the top of the level. This game was a little bit more complicated than Donut Country. I did need to look up a guide quite a few times for this one. Also, there's some super easy to miss achievements on this. Some of them are really well hidden, but with a guide, which I did use quite a lot for this game. It is fairly simple to get the 1000 gamer scores. Just some of the puzzles just didn't make a great deal of sense, especially in the later games. Maybe it was me, maybe I wasn't thinking deep enough, but some of the puzzles did seem pretty complicated. Overall though, I'd say this definitely is a game that's worth going through. Even if you're not trying to just get the achievements, it does have a bit of a depressing story, but you know, you can basically just enjoy the puzzles of the game. It's got a really cool art style. There's lots of different kind of levels in this game. I've shown you some of the early ones here. Some of the later ones do get pretty complicated, as I said, but it's a cool art style. It's a simple game to get into, but does get more difficult later on, but I definitely recommend checking it out, especially if you're a fan of kind of puzzle games. The final game of the month, and we are back on the Nintendo Switch for Pokemon Sword. So me and my wife have both been playing this for the past month, maybe 2 to 3 months, but this month we finally got to the end of the game, and what a ride it was. This game absolutely blew me away. I haven't played a Pokemon game in years, and seeing the graphics and the open world nature of this one absolutely astounded me. If you've played a Pokemon game before, you know exactly what to expect. You are on a mission to become the Grand League champion and to also catch them all. There's some pretty cool starting Pokemon here. I am an original 151 kind of guy myself, but I do quite like some of these Pokemons, especially as you can see here, Scorbunny, which I picked as I always go fire type for my first Pokemon. The battles are exactly what you'd expect from a Pokemon game. They are turn-based, you use the elements against each other, but it just is amazing. Seeing 3D, awesome graphics. It reminds me of how Pokemon Stadium was back in the N64, but a lot better. Well, that really is the star of this game though. It is so awesome seeing all the Pokemon just wandering around. No longer do you just wander into long grass, and guess what you're going to see? You can see the Pokemon actually wandering around, which is really cool for helping to catch them all, and also deciding which ones you just want to run past, as you don't want to be hitting those level 1 Pokemons when you've hit level 70 or 80. One of the new mechanics in this game is the fact now you can Dynamax your Pokemon, which essentially means you make them absolutely huge. All of the Pokemon have different animations for this feature, and they look incredible when they become amazingly big. Look at this Pikachu. If you have a Nintendo Switch, do not pass up this game. It may seem like a kid's game, but there is some serious depth to this, especially if you have somebody else with another copy of the game. If you have one sword and one shield, you can catch them all and you're going to have an amazing time doing it. Can't recommend this game enough. Guys, that has been May 2021, My Life in Gaming. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, give me a thumbs up and remember to subscribe for more great videos. I'm putting up videos every Saturday, so it'd be great to see you each week. Remember to follow me on Facebook and Instagram at Dan the Games Man, and as always, keep playing the game. See y'all soon.